treni, non ci sono premi. Dove vai se non sai da dove vieni?
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, Hoops fans. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny, the Jet, the champion, Smith, and Shaquille, the Diesel, the champion several times, O'Neal. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Tonight, we'll be watching the Utah Jazz playing against the Orlando Magic. Checking out the Magic, they want to come out of the gates strong tonight. We've heard them talk about establishing the upper hand right away, not sitting back and playing it safe in the early stages. And tonight we have two up-and-coming teams. Lots of talent, but also a lot of inexperience. Shaq, the youngsters looking forward to this battle. How do they keep their emotions in check?
Well, emotions can be positive, Ernie, if you play under control. Because if you get out of control and start doing crazy stuff, it just goes crazy. But both coaches will work hard to keep their players focused.
You got to stop that.
Yeah, man. Well, it's fun to watch the future of the league. And I want to see which guy separates himself and says, I'm going to be a dominant player in this league. A dominant player. That's why I love this.
If you do that again, I'm going to have to put my fist down.
Does nothing, Ernie.
Whoa.
Does nothing.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. And it's time for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. With David Aldridge on our sideline, and here with me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith, this is Kevin Harlan. Welcome, everyone, to Salt Lake City, Utah. It's the home of the Jazz. Now let's get a quick pregame update from David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Quinn Snyder.
Guys, he told me their primary focus of the pregame discussion was defense. He said they're dealing with a very sophisticated offense, and it's going to require an outstanding effort from his players at the defensive end to come out on top. Let's see if that's the effort they get. Guys?
Thank you, David. These teams have no problem, Steve, going to work on the block, working down low. You can expect, I'm sure, a lot of post-ups as we get this one going.
Yeah, they love to play through the post. They look at basketball like the old school way. If we can draw a double team, that opens it up for wide open shots. But they figure the game is won down there in the trenches, right there on the left and the right block.
And the Jazz start out with the ball. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the court for Orlando, the big men are Gordon and Vucevic. Payton and Fournier are the 1 and the 2. And it's Isaac in at the 3. Now, here's Ingles. Clock at 6. And stolen by Fournier. Goes up.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
When your defense translates into offense, it's a beautiful thing.
And there's the defensive 3-second call. And Evan Fournier out of France, an instinctive offensive player, Greg.
Yeah, favorite player growing up was Manu Ginobili, and you can see some similarities in their games. Fournier possesses long-range shooting, but also able to handle and put pressure on the D with the dribble.
What you get with Rubio, good size for a guard, terrific playmaker, and trying to become a better scorer.
Here's Ingles. Johnson outside. Just 5 on the clock. Over Gordon. It's hauled in by Gordon.
This is a problem for him. Inconsistent from the mid-range.
It's stolen by Ingles. 3-on-3. Rubio the pass to Gobert. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio.
crossing up the defense, and that's what you expect from Rubio. Terrific vision.
Payton kicks to Fournier. Payton outside. Orlando moving the ball around. To the middle. Here's Vucevic, and the layup is good. Vucevic has got his first basket of the night.
He turned on the Jets. As soon as he got that screen, and went right to the hole. Great decision-making there.
Rubio dishes to Johnson. Johnson sets the screen for Hood. Gobert can't hit.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Fournier against Ingles. Payton left side from deep. Here's Vucevic. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
You know, there's nothing more frustrating than that. Giving up points on a possession, you won.
Now here's Gobert out to the wing. Rubio the pass to Gobert. It's hauled in by the Magic.
And guys, there's a lot to like here defensively. That shot almost ends up in the stands.
And he was not quite in position to block the shot, but the result was all the same.
Jazz trail by 3. I think it's been a long rebuild for the Magic, but they really feel they've got a plan in place.
Well, you heard the front office talking that they're going to win at least one championship by the year 2030. And I got to say, that's an interesting quote, to say the least. I mean, I have heard of a 5-year plan, but a 13-year plan, I guess you'd call that building for the long term.
You know, the offense has just looked out of sync. Only 1 of 5 from the field.
And that one, good.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Now, here's Rubio. The dish to Gobert. There's a good screen. Put on the wing. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper.
And the way Hood operates off screens always gets to the open space.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Payton kicks to Fournier. Pass to Gordon. Here's Isaac. He's guarded by Johnson. And the basket by Isaac. Isaac's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
And a first time out of the game called for Utah. And Aaron Gordon, the athletic Aaron Gordon, playing much of last season at the small forward position during Serge Ibaka's short-lived stint in Orlando.
Yeah, and while he was excited to stretch his skill set, pretty clear it was a bad fit, especially in today's NBA. Gordon is a power forward, period. The Magic invested the 4th pick on him in that 14 draft, and they have to give him minutes at his natural position as his game continues to evolve.
Ends up going with the new group. Then for the Magic, Biyombo is checked in for Vucevic. Ross comes in for Isaac. And Mario Hezonja subbed in for Fournier. Now here's Exum. Up top, Burks. Outside, Favors. Pass to Jerebko. Kicks it to Mitchell. 6 to shoot. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. And the shot is good. Favors got his first basket.
Favors can really hurt you from inside the paint. If he gets the ball in a good spot, he has the size and length needed to bury the shot.
Dishes it to Ross. Passes it to Hezonja. Gordon a screen. Shoots the 3. And Hezonja gets it to go.
A good screen made all the difference. It led to an open look.
Jazz trail by 7. Exum dishes to Jerebko. And there's the feed to Exum. And the pass to Mitchell. Burks kicks to Jerebko. And it's Exum. That time on the assist by Jerebko.
A tremendous threat off the dribble. Dante trying to become consistent in the catch-and-shoot game.
Hezonja, the pass to Ross. There's the screen. Biyombo kicks to Hezonja. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Feeds to Jerebko. Burks kicks to Jerebko. Nice ball movement by Utah. Puts it up. And Utah again with the bucket.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Pass to Hezonja. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. He dishes it to Ross. Here's Biyombo. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
Jazz trail by 5. And here's Exum. He kicks it to Jerebko. He feeds it to Mitchell. To the paint. Looking for Favors. He gets it there. Gets it off. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. And so the first quarter is in the books. Magic lead by 5. Live from Vivint Smart Home Arena. You're watching 2K Sports. The second quarter beginning in just a moment. And guys, for the Magic, what jumps out to you so far, numbers-wise?
Boy, I tell you, it didn't take them long to find their rhythm. Strong offense through one.
Yeah, their scoring's been on point. They've got the early lead. Always feels good when that happens.
Magic leading by 5.
You know, the Jazz, one of the best run franchises in basketball. They operate in a small market, but still one of the top 6 winningest organization in NBA history.
They've got Favors. Jonas Jerebko out there with Alec Burks. Then it's Exum, and it's Mitchell in at the 2 spot. That's the group for Utah getting going here in the second.
I'll tell you what, despite the miss, he's going to be looking for that same shot again.
The dish now to Burks. Over to the wing. Burks sets a screen for Exum. And Favors kicks to Mitchell. Shot clock at 6. And it's Exum in the corner. And he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. Exum's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Jazz. And Steve, talking about the Jazz in Salt Lake City trying to hold on to big-name players. They lose all-star Gordon Hayward this past summer. And then you might recall Dominique Wilkins, who was drafted by the Jazz. He didn't want to play there.
Well, you know, the good news is you can focus on basketball, not too many distractions. And it's a beautiful city, safe with loyal fans and a chance to win.
Here's Mitchell. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Favors with the screen. Burks kicks to Exum. Here's Mitchell. And that comes off the assist by Exum. Mitchell's got it all tied up now for Utah.
A tall guard who can see over the defense. Exum with no trouble locating the open teammate.
Outside, Simmons. Kicks it to Ross. Pass to Gordon. From past the arc. Hands it from downtown. Gordon's got his second bucket of the night.
And that's from beyond, guys. Right back at you.
This is looking more like an all-star game right now. Everyone launching from range.
And the Jazz call time here. Every NBA player, Steve, believes in themselves, but some take it to the extreme. When they're on, they're on. And when they're off and cold, they just kind of lose interest, it seems. Which players do you think have this irrational confidence, if you want to call it that?
I think J.R. Smith, every shot, any shot, anywhere he feels is going in, and he will still take shots. He has amnesia. He could be 0 for 10 and keep shooting the basketball. Jamal Crawford is another guy. Those guys, they keep firing. Damian Lillard, they will keep shooting because they feel the next shot is going in.
Both teams making some changes here. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. And Rubio kicks to Hood. Nice ball movement by Utah. Gobert, the screen. Shot clock at 6. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Hood's got his second basket.
And a strong screen set by Gobert has added solid muscle to his frame.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Orlando Magic do have a stacked front court. They've got plenty of size. Head coach Frank Vogel said, in today's small ball NBA, we think we can beat the heck out of teams in the paint. But shooting has been a hindrance. He conceded he might have to win some games, 68-65. Kevin?
Going against the grain, D.A. Thank you. Now, here's Fournier following the miss by Rodney Hood. And Simmons kicks to Vucevic. Pass to Isaac. Lets the 3 fly. Gobert pulls it in.
You know, and I'll tell you, he's got nothing here in the second quarter after just one made shot in the first.
Ingles dishes to Rubio. Gobert, the screen. Johnson, the pass to Hood. Basket is good, the assist from Johnson. That's 7 points for Rodney Hood.
A much better quarter for them shooting the ball.
And Rodney Hood played 1 season at Mississippi State, then transferred, played another season at Duke. A good floor spacer, Greg, at 6'8".
You know, it's his in-between game that impresses me. Able to beat his man off the dribble. He can hit that little pull-up or drop it off to a teammate. This guy continues to improve.
And Joe Johnson with a long and illustrious career like yourself, Smitty. He had very good years in Atlanta. When you think of Joe Johnson, what comes to mind?
You know, the first thing is he has great handles for a player of his size. The crossover, able to get the defenders on their heels, and he does it in slow-mo. But he can score from anywhere.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Whoop shots.
That's good from Johnson.
And for the Magic, it's really been a musical chairs with their coaches. A lot of churning on the roster, but the pieces still have yet to gel. And honestly, it's been a mess.
And Orlando making a change here. Payton's checked in. He's off on the second. And if you're running the Magic, Greg, what's the roadmap to contention?
Well, first and foremost, it's always going to have to start through the draft. I mean, you've got to be able to get core pieces there. And then you want to continue to add perimeter shooting and focus on developing your young talent based on the way the game is played today. Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Back to Hood. And Gobert kicks to Johnson. 1:39 left in the first half of basketball. Got a hand on it.
And that long wingspan of Isaac aids him there in turning away shots, but it's also the timing he displays when he attacks the shooter.
Dishes to Fournier. High post, Vucevic. Vucevic, a screen on Ingles. Fournier dishes to Vucevic. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And you look at the post-up bangers who don't block shots at a high level. More and more we're seeing teams relegate them to that 6-man role off the bench. It'll be interesting to see how that affects a guy like Vucevic who fits that description.
And that one misses. Greg, why is it, do you think, that teams want those more floor-bound, post-up big men like Vucevic coming off the bench?
I think 2 things. First of all, their defensive shortcomings are less exposed playing against other reserves. Also, their ability to create offense on the block has more value with that second unit because that group tends to have their struggles in terms of scoring the basketball.
And the Utah Jazz watch their star player, Gordon Hayward, depart for Boston in free agency this past summer.
Yeah, and Kevin, especially for small market teams, that's always the concern, attracting and retaining star talent. The loss of Hayward, a real setback for this young team.
Here's Johnson and Utah again with the bucket.
When the defense is non-existent like they were there, it's pretty easy to score like he did.
Passes it to Ross. Here's Isaac. Magic moving the ball around. Back to Fournier. Shoots. Another miss by Orlando.
He can't get anything to fall this quarter. And obviously that's dragging the whole team down.
And Rubio kicks to Johnson. Back to Rubio. It's stolen by Vucevic.
And when you can't hold for the last possession, that's what you want to try and do.
Patience and execution. You need both here. We'll see what they run.
Payton passes to Ross. They set the pick. With 1 on the clock, no good trying to beat the buzzer. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Utah out in front, up by 3. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Elfrid, how big is defense going to be in the second half to help you get this win?
It's going to be big. That's what it's going to come down to. Defense wins games.
It certainly does, Elfrid. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. Utah found themselves in a close game in the first. During one stretch, they trailed by 7, never falling behind too far. The second quarter was a different story than the first. They played with energy and confidence in building a 3-point lead at the break. And, Kenny, what'd you see out there from the Jazz?
Well, they showed a lot of discipline on offense, called some high percentage plays. Even when the defense devised different looks, they always seem to have the answer. That's good coaching.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Magic.
Whatever their game plan was defensively coming in, that needs to change. Can't let a team shoot for a percentage in the high 50s and expect to come out on top. It's on the coaches and the players to adjust.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
We welcome you back down to Salt Lake City with a breathtaking view of the layout of this beautiful town. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Without question, Rodney Hood displaying his skills today.
And they haven't needed a lot of shots to get their points. Just tremendous efficiency here in the first half.
What I love watching is they are working for high percentage looks and cashing in when they get them.
The Magic trail by 3, so on the floor for Orlando. Payton and Fournier are the 1 and the 2. The big men are Gordon and Vucevic, and it's Isaac in at the 3 spot. Fournier dishes to Vucevic. It's Fournier on the wing. Ingles covering. 4 on the clock. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in. Fournier's got the first basket of the second half. That one for Orlando. Rubio with it. Now the feed to Gobert. There's the pass to Hood. And stolen by Payton. And here we go. Fast break. Payton's got it. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. And the Magic lead by 1. This game has a lot of character here in the third period. 6 changes of the lead here.
Intensity is the theme for this one.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Here's Rubio. Following the basket by Elfrid Payton. Johnson down low. Defended by Gordon. Rubio against Payton. Feeds it to Vucevic. Over Gobert. Another shot. Gobert with the block.
The size and reach of Gobert making him a tremendous defensive anchor, protecting the paint.
Johnson kicks to Rubio. Pass to Ingles. Here's Gobert, and the officials call a traveling violation. And sometimes it gets started with a hard foul from the other team or a whistle that you felt should have gone the other way. Anger can happen in the NBA. We see it. Emotions are high. It's a passionate game. Smitty, what was the angriest you ever got during a game? I know you competed because you were one of the best competitors I ever saw, but did it ever cross that line of becoming a little bit more gritty, a little bit more angrier?
It did, Kevin. I think one instance for sure. Game 7, Western Conference. Rolled the basketball hard as I could and was fouled by Shaq. They didn't call it. Being flat and laid out and the guys going up and down, we eventually lost that game. That was one I still haven't got over it. And when I see Shaq today, I might not do it, but I want to knock him upside his head because he knew it was a foul, and I knew it was a foul, but it wasn't called.
He is one big man. He looks like he could play right now, as do you, which I think is great about ex-athletes and keeping in shape and staying that way. But Shaq certainly looks like he could play right now.
And I would be a 5 right now trying to guard him. That'll be interesting.
Little mismatch.
ISO Joe Johnson in his mid-30s, but he's still a closer. You need a game winner, put the ball in his hands.
And Utah making a change here. Exum's checked in. So Johnson, it's 2 of them. And Joe Johnson, Steve, able to get his shot off anytime.
You know his nickname, Kevin, is ISO Joe. He has great size, and more than anything, it's his confidence. Trust me, he's very accustomed to scoring with a hand in his face.
Now here's Payton. Gordon with the screen for Payton. Just 3 to shoot. And here's Simmons for 3. Simmons missing again.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Johnson, the pass to Exum. And there's Joe Johnson on the assist by Exum. Johnson's got the lead up to 3 now for Utah.
Exum's teammates like the fact that he always has his eyes open to get them the ball in a nice position. That's what good point guards do.
Here's Azania. Over to the left wing. Here's Payton. No good from outside.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Gobert with a screen on Simmons. Exum dishes to Gobert. Gobert with a screen for Ingles. Count that one. Now it's a 5-point Jazz lead.
Tough screen set there, and the defense was not prepared for it.
Outside, Simmons. Here's Azania. Gordon kicks to Vucevic. Over Gobert. Orlando moving the ball around. Bangs home the trifecta. Azania's got 6 points.
Because he's inconsistent from range, the defense dares him to take that shot. Bad gamble there.
Utah calls timeout. And as much as the Jazz love to attack the paint offensively, not a ton of offensive rebounds, Steve, for this team. Why do you think that is?
Well, you know, first, like you said, controlling the pace is so important for this team. They slow the pace and they keep their opponents out of transition. That limits them on the offensive glass.
And you can see his wheels are turning. We'll see what he draws up here.
It's been an ongoing battle of adjustments, trying to identify your strongest matchup each time down the floor.
Going with an almost entirely new group here. Derek Favors checked in for Gobert. Jerebko comes in for Joe Johnson. Alec Burks checked in for Joe Ingles. And it's Mitchell in for Exum. Biyombo is checked in for Orlando. Ross comes in for Simmons. Favors with a screen on Payton. Rubio the pass to Favors. Misses the layup. Orlando, they've gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. Ross kicks to Biyombo. 1:33 left in the third. For the tie, Ross, that's good. Ross has got the game tied up here for the Magic.
Terrence Ross with the nice bucket. His offense is coming around nicely.
Rubio dishes to Jerebko. Burks kicks to Jerebko. Pass to Mitchell. Burks on the wing. Ross with the steal. And up the court come the Magic on the break for the lead. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
Using his height advantage, he gets a clean look from the mid-range.
Rubio the pass to Favors. He dishes it to Rubio. Back to Favors. Burks for 3. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And Orlando will come the other way. Their offense has been great here.
Yeah, the ball movement has been terrific, and they've kept the defense off balance. And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Here is Favors after the Magic pick up 2. Favors with the screen, and Rubio kicks to Burks. He feeds it to Mitchell. The dish now to Favors. Passes it to Jerebko. 4 on the shot clock. Trying to get back on track, but they get it back. Tries again. That's short off the rim. Payton right side. Again, the Magic score. And so it's the Orlando Magic with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Well, they trailed by a bunch, but once they got going, the comeback was on. We'll return shortly. Now let's listen in to Frank Vogel's huddle.
Our closer is our tempo. Tell us the tempo. Let's still run. 1, 2, 3.
And that's Frank Vogel asking his guys to dictate the pace and ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah, he wants them to push the action, but just be smart about how they do it. Aggressive, yes. Careless, no.
All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Rodney Hood out there with Mitchell. Then there's Jerebko. Then there's Favors. And it's Burks in at the small forward position. That's the group right now for Utah. And Payton throws it down hard.
really, really good possession there. They've never lost their focus, even as the game's gotten tight.
With their lead starting to stretch out just a little bit here late, they're in a prime position now to wrap this one up.
So it's Utah now, following the bucket by Orlando. Favors dishes to Burks. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
Donovan Mitchell. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
Payton kicks to Fournier. Dishes it to Biyombo. The feed now to Ross. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Ross has got the lead up to 8 now for the Magic.
And what it looks like now, guys, their confidence is growing, and so is this lead.
But they can't just sit back and enjoy it. They need to keep up the momentum.
Here's Mitchell. At the top of the key, Hood. And good, he nails it.
The quick trigger, Hood piercing the defense with the effective catch and shoot Jay.
Payton passes to Fournier. He kicks to Ross. They set the pick. And again, it's Orlando converting.
And what a half for this offense. If they can stay this hot, a great chance to extend this lead.
Mitchell dishes to Favors. Burks kicks to Favors. The pass to Mitchell. Good up top. Favors with the screen. The call will go against Jerebko. That's his first foul. A different look for Utah. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Favors. Johnson comes in for Jerebko. And it's Joe Ingles in for Alec Burks. And a switcher also for Orlando. Vucevic is checked in. Magic leading by 8. Now here's Payton. Kicks it to Ross. Jacks up a 3. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. And that's 11 points for Terrence Ross. Well, the NBA can be a superstitious place at times, Steve, with all the quirks and characters in the league. And when you played, what was the strangest game day ritual that you ever saw?
I think Harold Miner. He touched everything with his nose, his gym shoes, his wristbands, the basketballs at the free throw line, and everybody did. And I think for me, as I got older, it wasn't strange. It was out of necessity. I had to get in some kind of steam room and have all those hot pads wrapped around me just to get loose to play.
I like that story. I don't like Baby Jordan's story, though. Harold Miner, that doesn't work for me. I don't understand that.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
You know, for the most part, their perimeter D is holding up, but they might have to sacrifice some of that to close down the lane.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
During that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Quinn Snyder said to his team. He was not happy with their play. He told them, we're getting outworked out there. Simple as that. We got to dial up our effort. Kevin, we'll see if they have enough to get it done.
Now, here's Ingles. Out to the wing. Here's Mitchell. And the 3 ball is good. Magic leading by 8. Payton outside, feeds it to Ross. Pass to Fournier from beyond the arc. And it's Johnson with the rebound. Johnson's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Outside Hood. Pass to Mitchell. He dishes it to Ingles. Gobert with a screen for Ingles. It's deflected. Nice shot by Gobert.
And for his career, Gobert has averaged better than 50% from the field, an efficient scorer in the post.
Look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the 4th. Vucevic against Gobert. Isaac doesn't go that time. Johnson with the defensive effort. Jazz trail by 6. Ingles kicks to Mitchell. Johnson the screen. Mitchell passes to Gobert. Clock at 6. He feeds it to Ingles. Goes to the reverse layup and pops it in.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over.
And as of late, they have not looked good at all. Actually, they've been dominated.
And the worst part, they're starting to get down on themselves. Really need that one big play to spark some life back into them.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Terrence Ross.
And he's been dialed in from the field, Kevin. Good on over 60% of his attempts. They've been working the ball around well, and he's benefited with a lot of open looks. And boy, has he made the most of them.
Ricky Rubio checked in for Mitchell. Gordon's checked in for Orlando. Payton dishes to Gordon. Picked by Vucevic. Vucevic's screen on Hood. Here's Isaac. Here's Vucevic. And there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
I'll tell you, there's no quit in him when it comes to the offensive glass.
There's 1:40 left in the game. Outside Hood. Back to Rubio. There's a screen. Gobert the screen. Johnson kicks to Rubio. Just 5 on the clock. Second chance shot. Gobert the pass to Rubio. Vucevic with the block. And he recovers it. And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys. So that's a free basket right there.
Just barely too late and catches it on the way down. He's already in the air there, committed. So can't fault him for going for the block.
Rubio against Payton. The dish to Vucevic. Orlando moving the ball around. Gordon kicks to Fournier. Gordon a screen. And it's Vucevic missing.
How many times have you seen him do that? Losing focus on a simple lay-in.
What more can you ask for?
Phenomenal here in the clutch. This is what fans tune in to see.
That's good from Johnson.
Yeah, terrific and one on that one. Those are the kind of plays, guys, that win basketball games.
And out of bounds as Utah gains possession.
How big is that? Or should I say, how big might that become? Just a brutal mistake.
Utah calls timeout. They're trailing by 1. We've got 33 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Here's Hood. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Gobert, the screen. And Rubio kicks to Hood. Buries it from outside.
What poise by Hood, calmly draining the shot at a crucial time.
Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 2. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And it all comes down to this. Still enough time on the clock that they should be able to get a real good look.
A lot of time left, which should allow for a really good shot if they run the right play.
Vucevic dishes to Fournier. Top of the key, Peyton. Pass to Isaac. Vucevic against Gobert. It's good! A huge shot to tie it up. Utah calls timeout. So it's Utah here with the ball. Here's Hood. Ooh, offline.
And with his nightly size advantage, no surprise that Gobert is such a phenomenal rebounder.
And so it's Utah who scraped by with the win. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal.
And there are so many times when you see these tight games won at home, that advantage of having that crowd behind you oftentimes is the ultimate X factor.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. With Dante Exum. Dante, still a young guy in this league. What do you want to focus on with your development?
I think it's just staying in the defensive end. Sometimes in the heat of the play, you kind of lose sight of it, and it's just about staying in there and just helping your teammates out. So,
a very young guy on a very good team. Thank you, Dante. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Steve Smith, Craig Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. So long, everyone.